but Gwen was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. She would have felt a lot better about things if he'd agreed to meet in a cafe or restaurant instead of the local cemetery. The rustling sound reached her ears again, and she squinted to try to see through the dark. The moon was almost full and gave off some light, but not enough to cut through the darkness. The old cemetery was outside town and had no lights at all. A shiver raced down Gwen's spine, and the fine hairs on the back of her nape stirred. She took a step toward her car. It was only a few feet away, and she'd taken the precaution of locking all the doors except the driver's and backing the vehicle in so she could easily make a quick getaway if need be. She might be eager for a story, but she wasn't stupid. A low growl came from off to the left, and she took another step back. She had no idea what kind of animals might be running around the surrounding woods. Maybe it would be smarter to just wait in the car, just in case. As she put her hand on the door, she heard a voice calling her name. "Miss Jones, Miss Jones." She tucked her recorder into her pocket, keeping it running, and left one hand on the door handle. Her other one clutched the pepper spray. A short, balding man about 2 inches shorter than her and 5'8" hurried toward her. Even in the dim light, she could tell Hector was highly agitated. He stumbled to a halt in front of her, and she had to put out a hand to keep him from running into her. He was sweating, his eyes darting all around him. He reminded her of a frightened mouse. "Mr. Canton?" She couldn't believe he was on foot. He must have parked farther down the road and walked the rest of the way to the cemetery. The town was a good 10-minute drive from here. She wasn't sure how long it would take to walk that distance. He swiped a hand over his forehead. Yes. He stuck one of his hands into his pocket. She brought her right hand up, holding the pepper spray at the ready. This entire situation was creeping her out. Why had she agreed to do this? Oh, yeah, a story. He pulled his hand out and thrust it toward her. It wasn't a weapon, but a flash drive. She almost laughed out loud. Her sense of relief was so profound. She'd certainly overreacted. Chalk it up to creepy atmosphere and the cloak and dagger theatrics Hector Canton insisted on. She took the flash drive and slid it into her pocket. "Can you tell me what's on it?" "I'm risking my life. If they find out, they'll kill me." Who? Her heart began to race, and she peered as far as she could see into the darkness surrounding them. Was someone following Hector Canton? The werewolves, of course. He looked at her as if she wasn't all that bright. "I see," she began, trying to figure out the best way to proceed with the interview. "If you know they'll kill you, why are you doing this?" He obviously thought werewolves were real, so she would humor him. She'd thought he was going to be one of those guys who had excess body hair and howled at the moon, harmless but wacky. But he honestly believed in werewolves. Now he appeared totally bewildered. "Someone has to tell the world." He seemed so sincere she didn't have the heart to tell him no one would ever believe his story. Okay, maybe a few of the more rabid fans of some of the magazines she wrote for would, but most would simply find it an entertaining tale. He was staring at her so intently she felt like she had to say something. "That's brave of you." He nodded, seemingly satisfied with her praise. Gwen honestly didn't believe she was going to get much more out of this interview and decided to cut the meeting short. "Is there anything else you can tell me, or is all the information on the flash drive?" "It's all there." His agitation was growing with each passing second. His eyes continually darted from her to the surrounding woods, to the cemetery and back again. A dog howled in the distance, the sound stark and lonely as it echoed through the dense woods and the surrounding hills. Hector bolted fast as a jackrabbit, racing back the way he'd come. "Run before they find you." She watched for another moment as he disappeared and was swallowed up by the night. When a second howl joined the first, she jumped into her car and pushed down the lock. She didn't want to have a run-in with either a pack of wild dogs or a group of men out hunting with their hounds. And that's all it was. There were certainly no werewolves running around. They were nothing more than a figment of Hector's wild imagination. She took a deep breath and let it out gradually, hoping to slow her racing heart. Her hand shook as she turned the key in the ignition. The engine rumbled to life, and she gave a quick prayer of thanks when it immediately started.